Looks like we have the hint for the next Dokkan Fest. But who could it be? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. In today's video, looks like Global Dokkan has gone ahead and dropped the hint for the next Dokkan Fest. So in this video, we're going to break down who we think it's going to be, why we think it's them, and when can we expect to see them drop here at the end of November. So let's go ahead and let's jump on in and let's get the obvious out of the way. So we have here a set of black dots, jagged edged black dots, a set of white background. Not much to go off here. It's somewhat cryptic, but at the same time, it's also very on the nose. So the thing with these hints is they tend to represent one specific thing, and they're very, very obvious in most scenarios. So the obvious thing to look for here is an attack when we're dealing with key balls. And the one that stands out the most to me is Piccolo's Hell Zone grenades. Very, very similar in structure to what we see here with the black dots. We have the jagged edges around the side with the with the key balls here. Now, obviously, in the show, this looks a little bit different, right? They're more yellow, but the representation is still the same. But I do think this is the most obvious one, right? Again, the thing with these hints is that whatever your obvious hint is, wherever your gut initially goes, that's probably what it is. Remember, the last hint was literally just the thing on top of Goma's head. The hint before that with Golden Frieza was literally a gold medal, right? And then the hint before that, Tao, it was literally Tao's pillar. So they're pretty on the nose with this. So whatever your gut reaction is, it's probably going to be what it is, and this is what my gut is telling me. The Hell Zone grenade. It's pretty obvious, especially when you consider what's coming next, right? When we consider the fact that, of course, there needs to be associated EZAs with whatever this could represent, Android Cell Saga stands out as the most likely scenario, as it has the, aside from movies, which these are GDC LRs, it has the most amount of potential EZAs, rivaling only Saiyan Saga. And there's not really much for Saiyan Saga that this could go to, so other than a similar effect with Yamcha and his Spirit Ball, but that's already been done. So the likely scenario here to me is Android Cell Saga. And Android Cell Saga makes sense, right? Especially if it's a Piccolo, because Piccolo not only could lead something like Worthy Rivals, Android Cell Saga, or Bond of Master and Disciple. Any one of those three would justify EZAs of any of the current Android Cell Saga, right? If it's Android Cell Saga, you could easily slot in the androids here as the potential EZA. I would hope it's not that if it's a Piccolo, but you could justify it. You could also justify the other three, but even more so if he leads a Bond of Master and Disciple category, right? Which then you could justify Trunks, these guys, LR, EZA, or even the LR Goku and Gohan. Now, those guys have had their Part 1s EZA'd already this year, so it would make sense that they would find a way to slot in the Part 2 LR here. So throwing that out there, that is a possibility for this, right? It makes the most sense out of all the potential. It also sets us up for future EZAs, right? Especially if he leans bottom Master and Disciple, sets us up for future EZAs with Orange Piccolo and Gohan, who could be on the horizon here soon as we approach the anniversary. Speaking of the anniversary, there is a second theory that I've already seen floating around, and that is that the balls represent the Spirit Bomb in much the way that they would look. The Hell Zone grenade looks in the anime, right? The animated version of the key that is being collected for this Spirit Bomb is very, very similar. It even looks similar in the manga too, although I couldn't find a good shot of the panel here. But it looks pretty similar. You have a spherical image with a somewhat jagged edge. Now, I do think that this could be a possibility, right? It would essentially be some form of Spirit Bomb Goku, but the thing about that is typically, right, um, typically with the spirit bomb, outside of this instance, most of the time when they show it, they don't really show people on the planet giving their energy to Goku. And when they show the planet and other life forms giving the energy, it's usually just that I couldn't find a good image of it, but it's usually just sort of that aura that's being given off by them in the planet, not typically this spherical shape. This and in GT are the only times you really see this spherical shape that the Spirit Bomb takes place, when people are actually giving their energy to Goku. Now, there's a problem with that theory, right? That of it being Spirit Bomb, because these two moments that I just referenced already exist in the 8th anniversary LRs, and I really don't see how you redo that when we already have the perfect mechanic for this type of situation with the Spirit Bomb, and specifically a Spirit Bomb Goku, unless they decide to do a Super Saiyan 3 Goku into using the Spirit Bomb, or like a Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta into a Goku Spirit Bomb. Like, either way, it's still kind of it, it's odd that that would be the choice. If it is the choice, it does make sense in the sense that, like, we started the year with Majin Buu Saga, right? Technically. And so to end the year with Majin Buu Saga makes sense too. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? The Battle of Fate was the start of the year as part of the New Year's campaign. They got their easy A's during that, right? With the introduction of the Daima and units. So it's possible that this could be sort of bringing everything back full circle from where we ended. Another possibility that I thought, because again, right, the only thing with this theory is there's literally no one to fit that, fit the Easy A, right? There's not a single category you could justify for a character for an Easy A here, right? Unless they just join forces somehow, right? There's no justifiable Easy A character here. So this is why I really don't think it's them, unless it's just like final trump card, and then they're like, here you go, here's Goku and Piccolo, which would be weird, but not the craziest thing they've ever done. So that's the main reason I don't think it is this, is because these guys' Easy A's is coming up here in 3 months, and those Spirit Bombs have already been done to perfection, right? So that's kind of the main reason I don't think it's going to be the Spirit Bomb. However, I could see this, and now don't kill me here, but it's very likely I mean, maybe the dots represent Kid Buu, or maybe some form of his attacks. His attacks are very chaotic. Sometimes he launches many balls of attacks. It could be that, right? And we get another TUR Kid Buu. That would be funny. But again, I don't think that that's what it is. But it's a theory that I've seen floating around. But the last one I want to leave you guys with, and hear me out now. What if it's actually chocolate chips? Now that sounds crazy, right? Except we do still have more Dama units on the horizon. And, right, we have, Majin Buu, who eats the chocolate cookie before he powers up in the battle against Goma. This could be very, very, I'm not saying it's likely, but we do still need these guys represented in game. But like I said with my earlier point, these things tend to be on the nose, and the cookie that Majin Buu eats doesn't look anything like the chips on it. So, I mean, it's a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's something silly like that. But I do think the Hellzone Grenade is probably the likely scenario. Like I said, it's whatever your gut reaction is telling you. That's probably what it's gonna be. I really don't think the Spirit Bomb one is there. There's just too many other things happening for that one. So it really comes down to the Hellzone Grenade. Actually, there is one more I want to point out here. So one last possibility is that it could be representative of the Dead Zone, right? There's a larger circle here in the middle. It's a little bit less likely, but I did want to toss out because this does also kind of fit something. It's the only other thing I think of that could fit an upcoming EZA with the LR Goku and Piccolo here, the Int variation. But that's really the only other thing I could see. Outside of that, like I've been saying throughout this video, I do think Hellzone Grenade is the most likely scenario. So, guys, that is it for our video. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think this hint represents? I'm on the boat for Hellzone Grenade. I don't really see any other really solid theories out there, and everything I could come to sort of points back to this. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.